What is up, you guys? Welcome to the collective. My name is Furman, and in this video we are going to be talking about piracy. But before we get into that, don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to share this video. I don't know what I'm doing with my hands. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more awesome content just like this video that you're watching right now. Alright guys, let's get into it. So, piracy. Piracy in gaming. Is it a bad thing? I don't know. Is it illegal? Absolutely. But should it be? I don't think so. Now I know that sounds a little bit controversial, but hear me out. I do have a point with all this. I think it's pretty safe to say I am definitely not shy when it comes to being a collector, or just enjoying the collection aspect of collecting video games. As you guys can see, I have a ton of video games. But is that always the best way to get games? Sometimes it's not really practical. And honestly, as you guys can see, there are a lot of YouTube channels that dedicate themselves to essentially showing you how to buy games or how to buy used and older retro games. And those channels are pretty popular. They're doing really good. So that just goes to show you that, a lot of people really care about retro games, and a lot of people really like playing those older games too. But here's the problem with all of that stuff. Usually a lot of those channels that do retro gaming stuff, they end up doing the impossible essentially, which is not something that normal people can do. Like they end up stumbling upon like just the craziest finds when it comes to gaming. It's like $1,000 video game, $4 or $5. Like it's usually that stuff, and I get why they do it, It's because people that are retro gaming enthusiasts like myself, we're gonna look at that and be like, holy crap, how the freak did he do that? So yes, it does get clicks and all that stuff. But, regular people, for the most part, they're not really going to get into those type of things. It's usually people that are really heavily invested in the retro gaming community that is able to spot finds like that. And, I'm not trying to be black or white here. I do know that it does happen on the occasion. Like myself, I think the craziest find I found was I found like 3 or 4 Pokemon Black 2s. They were like $15 a piece. I essentially paid $60 for about $500 to $600 worth of video games. Probably a little bit less than that, but back then they're pretty rare, and they still are actually. I think they're going up in price. So yeah, it does happen, but it doesn't happen that often. So like what most of us end up having to do, we end up having to pay that harsh premium when it comes to getting those games. And that's unfortunate. Like, I want to be able to have a CIB Earthbound or, complete in box Earthbound game. I would love to have that. And I'm telling you right now, as long as this channel is up and growing, I will do that. And I'm going to make a video about it too, because we're going to unbox it. We have to unbox that. But you know what? For the most part, if you're not able to buy these games and pay that harsh premium, and companies like Nintendo don't want to put those games out, then what exactly are you left with? I mean, really, there's only one thing you can do. You can go online and, purchase the game, if you know what I mean.
Stop it. Get some help.
You know what? To a certain extent, I know that they'll never agree to that. I know that these video game companies will literally never agree to this, because as soon as it happens, it's just gonna open the floodway. What? Because as soon as it happens, they automatically assume that nobody's gonna ever want to buy games from them anymore. They're just like, oh, we'll just wait until the however long the expiration date hits, and then we can just download it for free. But I do think that emulators and all these things, they do have their place in gaming. Honestly, if it was me, if I was to make the rules, I would make it so it would be, you know, a certain date. So let's say, you know, Nintendo's not coming out with any more Super Nintendo games. They're just not, okay? It's just wrapped up. And it's been wrapped up for a very, very long time. So, how about maybe you make it legal for you to download emulators and play these games after the console is just not making any money anymore? That makes a lot of sense to me. And you know what's the best part about it? Is that the way Nintendo's gonna view it is as competition. So they're gonna say, holy crap, we gotta hurry the freak up. We have to hurry up and start putting these games on the Nintendo Switch or whatever relevant console is in the market right now. Because if we don't, we're gonna be missing out on millions of dollars. Whew. And you already know, competition makes companies sweat. We all know this. So honestly, and yes, I already know, like just like I mentioned a few minutes ago, I know that there's no way they will ever agree to that, and it'll probably never happen. But honestly, I think it's good incentive. I think it'll give them the incentive they need to get their lazy butts up and to start putting these games out. I mean, how is it that you have a ginormous company, but for some reason you don't have a department that's just set up for putting out these retro games? And yes, I do know that some of them, you know, they need to be tested and they make sure that they work. They have to be optimized for the Nintendo Switch. I know that it's a lot of work that goes into it, but I mean, really? Like, we're getting like 1 or 2 games a month? That's wild. And you know, that's essentially the same thing that's happening with the Nintendo Switch too. We just got an updated...
You stupid!
We just got an update that allows us to put our games into folders. Something that the Nintendo 3DS has been able to do for the longest time. And on top of that, it's already been 5 years. We are at the tail end of the Nintendo Switch. And now is when they want to put up quality of life updates like that? And that's the same thing with the themes too. They're not really themes, they're icons. Everybody was going around talking about how, oh my god, the Nintendo Switch finally has themes. But they're not themes, they're just icons that you can essentially decorate. So we still don't have themes. Nintendo. It's almost like they didn't learn. Like, how did they not understand that one of the best parts of the 3DS was the fact that it was so customizable? They even put out the new Nintendo 3DS, the regular one, not the XL, but the regular one where you can literally swap the shells and customize it. And they put out a bunch of shells, half of which the US and the PAL region didn't even get. They were stuck in Japan. But I digress. That's not... I am seriously getting into monologuing here. I mean, we're not even talking about this. We're talking about retro and we're talking about emulators. But yeah, guys, you know, like I totally understand why they wouldn't ever want to agree to something like that, because obviously it's going to take money out of their pockets, or so they think it is. But you know, people are already doing it, so why not make it better? Why is it bad for a company to be forward thinking like that? I'm totally blanking on the game right now, but there's a game out there that was essentially made by fans, and the company was like, holy crap, this game is really cool. Do you think we could buy it and sell it? And they literally did that. I'm gonna look it up and put it right here. But yeah, they literally did that. And Nintendo does that sometimes too. I don't know if you guys remember, but what was it, Super Mario 35? That game was literally in response to the Super Mario game that came out that was a web browser game where you could essentially play online with a massive horde of people. That's what that game is. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching the video as always. And do not forget to like my video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more awesome content. And definitely don't forget to share my video so we can get this thing up popping. Alright guys, we will see you guys on the next video. Peace. Say bye to Evie.